Special thanks to Patreon supporter the Grand Pope for making this tutorial possible. Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Gear204 here bringing you another Minecraft World War II BAFTA build tutorial. In this tutorial we'll be going ahead and building HNLMS De Ruyter. De Ruyter was a unique light cruiser of the Royal Netherlands Navy. She was originally designed as a 5,000 long ton ship with a lighter armament due to financial problems in the pacifist movement. Later in the design stage, an extra gun turret was added and the armor was improved. She was the 7th ship of the Dutch Navy to be named after Admiral Michiel Arsene De Ruyter. De Ruyter was laid down in September 16, 1933 at the Wilton Fjord dockyard in Schiedam and commissioned on October 3, 1936, commanded by Captain A.C. van der Sandy Lacoste. She was sunk in the Battle of Java Sea in 1942. So yeah, the De Ruyter here, a very interesting ship here, one of the probably more unique ships you're ever going to see, as the ship really didn't belong to a class. It was its own ship, basically. Pretty interesting design and something you kind of see commonly with a lot of the kind of minor world powers at the time, and definitely the Netherlands there being kind of more of a minor power in comparison to that of the other big powers. But it was a really interesting design ship and is a fun one to do. This is our first, I guess you can say, main Dutch capital ship. We have done the Admiral Cayde, which is very famous for its disguising as an island and stuff like that. So we have done a Netherlands ship before, but this right here is kind of the first actual, like, I guess you can say capital ship or main, warfighting vessel. So pretty cool build, and should be a fun one to add to your BAFTA build fleets, especially if you're looking for some early kind of Pacific War type of ships for World War II. Before we go ahead and take a look at it, though, I do want to go and give special thanks to Patreon supporter the Grand Pope for making this tutorial possible. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel more you already do, feel free to check my Patreon page. Link is always in my video descriptions, where you can go and put a small amount to the channel every month, and in doing so earn a viewer request to your choosing. It really helps support the work I do on my channel and is really greatly appreciated, so definitely feel free to check it out. Again, link is down in the video description. With that, let's go ahead and dive in here to taking a look at the ship. So the ship has a very interesting armament complement. We have basically a pretty weird setup here. We have the main double turret here at the front, and then you have a turret that's also the same caliber, 150 millimeters, that's mounted above it in a single mount. So kind of a weird design for that, something that's pretty uncommon that you don't really see too often. We then have the conning tower here, all of the cranes, the lifeboats, stuff like that located in this midsection along with the funnel. As we progress further back, we do have the seaplanes here, so this did have a complement of 2 seaplanes. A pretty large anti-aircraft battery here located on the kind of a little bit aft of mid-deck, or middle of the ship. And then we have the basically 2 rear turrets, which are both double turrets, so it gives you a total of 750 millimeter guns. It did have a complement of some 40 millimeters and also some 50 caliber machine guns for anti-aircraft fire. But yeah, that's pretty much the build. Pretty cool looking ship, and again, our first kind of Netherlands capital ship, so a fun one at that to add to our BAFTA build collection. With that though, let's go ahead and dive into the tutorial by beginning with our first layer, layer number 1. Alright guys, so going ahead and moved into our first layer here, we will be starting with layer 1. A few things I want to mention real quick. If you're completely new to my BAFTA build tutorials, the way I like to structure these is for about the first 3 layers or so, we're going to be doing half on, half off. What this means is we're rebuilding the entire centerline of the ship. The right side, it'll be up to you guys to copy the left side over. Since the ship is completely symmetrical, whatever we do on one side will be done to the other. Just kind of helps speed up the process for these initial layers, which are usually kind of the more easier layers to do. To get started though, we want to make sure that we position the ship correctly in the water. As I imagine most of you guys will want to put this in the water, you want to make sure that this is the correct height. You can see the blue concrete here represents our water level, and you can see here layer 1 how it sits representative with it. So this right here is where you want it. You want the red to be kind of basically water level, so you should see a little bit of the red block poking out from the top of the water, and the rest of it should be submerged. The rest should all be stone. You shouldn't have any red above it, or you shouldn't have any stone below water. So just make sure that's correct. Very important to get us started. And after we have that done, we're going to go ahead and place down a row of red concrete. This is going to go down the center line of the ship, and this is going to be a total of 28 blocks. So again, 28 blocks down the center here. We're going to go ahead and place down 2 brick top slabs, a acacia wood trapdoor, and then 2 more brick walls to finish that off on the back there. Going back up to the front, we're going to grab our red stained glass panes. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, and on our 5th red concrete block from the front, 1, 2, 3 red stained glass panes, followed by 1, 2, 3, 4 brick walls, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 red concrete blocks. After that, we want to go then place down 4 brick up downstairs, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3 brick top slabs, followed by an acacia wood fence gate, 2 end rods, and then a birchwood slab here on the very back. You can also use a skeleton skull if you really want to as well for the props. Those will also work very nice for this as well. But with that all done, that right there is going to wrap up what we have there for layer 1. And take a look at it from up above, this we should have for the top-down view with this layer complete. After that, we'll be moving into our next layer, which will be layer number 2. Moving into our next layer, we have layer 2. For layer 2 to go ahead and get started with here, we want to go ahead and begin with by placing down a stone block on top of this red concrete block. We're going to go ahead and go back from the stone block, a long row of stone, which is going to be a total of 28 blocks in length. Actually, we're going to make this 29 blocks. So 29 blocks, and then this will give you an overall length of 30. So just like that, going all the way down to this section here. We're going to go ahead and place down 2 oak wood planks, like so, a stone block, and then a stone up-down stair to round off the back here. Go ahead and come off the sides of the last stone block here. We're going to place down 1, 2, and 3 glass panes. Coming off the center glass pane, we're going to place down a skeleton skull. And then going forward from this, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, and 4 andesite walls, followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18 stone blocks back, 2 andesite walls, and 3 light gray stained glass panes going forward like so. At this point in time, we'll also grab polished black stone buttons on these 2 stone blocks here. We're going to place down polished black stone buttons, and then all the way along the side here of the ship, along these stone blocks here for all the portholes on the side of the ship. So that's just going to go back like so. And with that, that is going to basically complete what we have there for layer number 2. Again, we'll take a look at it from up above, and this we should have for the top-down view. With that all complete, that's going to wrap up layer 2, and let's move on to layer number 3. Moving into our next layer, we have layer number 3. For layer 3 to begin with, we're going to place down a stone block on top of this one right here. We're going to then go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more stone blocks. And then taking our oak wood planks, we're going to place down a long row of oak wood. That's going to be 21 planks in total going toward the rear of the ship. We're going to go then place down a total of 1 and 2 stone full blocks, and we're going to go and stop at this point. This layer is going to be a little bit of a hybrid because we're going to go ahead and do basically this front section first, both sides, and then we'll be doing the back section here all together as we have a little bit more detail going on. Anyways, after this though, we're going to place down a light gray stainless paint to the side here. Then 2 andesite walls forward, and then we're going to place down a row of stone. So we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 stone blocks, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 andesite walls. I'm going to double check the count here for my stone blocks, and they are going to be 16 in total. And then after that, we're going to go ahead and take our light gray stainless panes, and we're just going to place down 1, 2, 3 glass panes forward like so. We also want to take our polished black stone buttons, and all the way along the side here of these stone blocks, we're going to place down our buttons like so. With that done, also on the front here, on this stone block, we're going to place down an item frame to both sides, and then in the item frame, we're going to place down a crossbow, which is going to be rotated to face downwards like that to represent the anchor. With that all complete, that's going to basically do it for our half on, half off section. You're going to take the right side here, copy it over to the left side, and this is what you should have so far. So go ahead and pause the video, take some time to go ahead and copy the other side over, and once you're good, go ahead and resume the video. So going ahead and continuing on after you have both sides complete, we're going to be going ahead and going to this back section here. Now what we're going to do here to start with is we're going to place down a stone brick upstairs stair, a stone stair, brick stair coming off of it, and then a birchwood fence gate coming off the stone stair. We then want to place down a white bed on top of these walls here to both sides. And after we do that, we want to go and then place down a redstone repeater on top of the stone block, separate the notches, and we then want to place down an end rod on top of the bottom here of the stair. And since we're at it, we can go ahead and also go up from this end rod like so. And we're going to go ahead and then place down one end rod that comes down like that, so it kind of forms an angle there on the back. So we can just knock that out so we don't have to worry about it later. But once you have that done on the back there, you're pretty much good to go, and that's going to wrap up what we have there for layer number 3 for the build. At this point in time, all of our layers from here on out will be done all together as we start to get into the more detailed section, doing all this detail here for the deck. So we will be basically doing the rest of the layers all together, both sides. And with that though, let's go ahead and dive into our next layer, which will be layer number 4. Alright guys, so moving into our next layer, we have layer 4. For the floor to begin with, we're going to place down a birchwood fence gate on top of the stone block. We're going to open it toward the front, and we'll just place down an end rod on top of that. We're going to then go back from that, 1, 2 of these redstone dust pieces, and then a repeater with the notches spread apart like so. We're going to go then place down a birchwood fence gate, open it toward the rear of the ship, then a stone brick stair, and then a stone brick upside down stair behind that. We're also going to place down a birchwood sign on both sides of the stone brick stair. We then want to take our stone blocks. We're going to go ahead and go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 stone blocks down the center. On our first 2 blocks, we're going to place down light gray stained glass panes to both sides, followed by an oak wood pressure plate to both sides. We're going to go then place down a birchwood fence key like this, open to the sides, on both sides. And then we want to go and then place down 2 stone brick upside down stairs, again, on both sides. We'll take some time now to go ahead and grab an item frame, and we will also need a white bed. We're going to place down 2 item frames on the stairs and also an item frame on the fence gate. We'll place down white beds in those item frames and rotate them so they face horizontally across the side of the ship. Same thing will be done over here, like so. With that done, we want to go ahead and then place down a andesite wall to both sides, and we're going to go then place down a white bed going back from the andesite wall. We're going to then take our oak wood pressure plates and just place down one on both sides like so. Then continuing on, we're going to place down a stone top slab, then a stone full block, and then a andesite wall. We'll take our oak wood pressure plates. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, like that along the sides. We'll also place down a row of 3 going all the way across this section here. And then we're going to place down 2 more stone blocks down the center. After we have that done, we want to go ahead and take our stone stairs. We're going to place down 2 stone stairs upside down to both sides. Item frames on the side of the stairs. White beds in the item frames rotated sideways. Same thing over here. And after that's done, if you're on Java, we'll go ahead and then place down 2 pistons. If you're not on Java and you do not have access to a debug stick, I would recommend instead of those blocks there, I would just place down 2 stone full blocks instead. So not the best option, but basically your really only other option besides these pistons, which we're going to use to modify to look like that. We're going to go and then place down a skeleton skull to the side here of this first block, and then we want to go and then go back from that with a oak wood pressure plate to both sides, as well as one more going back on top of those andesite walls. On the very back here, we're going to place down a stone brick upside down stair, like so. A stone brick stair coming off of it, a birchwood fence gate coming off the front of the stair, open toward it, and then a birchwood sign on the sides here of that stair. We're also going to place down a redstone repeater on top of this stone brick upside down stair here and separate the notches like so for the rear turret. With that all done, the last thing really for us to do for this layer is for us Java players, we're going to type in the command /give @p minecraft :debug_stick. And what we'll do here is we'll go to these pistons and we'll just right click them like so until they say extended to true, and they look like that. So it just kind of helps with the overall shaping there for the ship, and that right there is going to wrap up what we have there for layer number 4 for the build. With that though, we'll be going ahead and moving into our next layer, layer number 5. Moving into our next layer, we have layer number 5. For layer 5 to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down a stone brick stair on top of the stone block, as well as an end rod coming off that stair going forward. We're going to go and then place down a light gray stainless pane here, and then we want to go and then place down 2 stone blocks back from that glass pane. We'll also take our skeleton skulls, and we're going to go ahead and place down a skeleton skull to both sides of this glass pane. Now one thing we can do here for us Java players is we can use our debug stick here again. We can find the direction the glass pane is facing, so by bringing up our coordinates here, F3, we can see that that direction there is south. So the wall here is connecting to the stair for the south, or facing southwards basically. By left clicking it, we can go ahead and we can find selected south and it should say true. We can then right click it and it will remove it back. Again, this may change depending on your orientation of your ship, if it's facing north or if it's facing east or west, you know. You will have to modify it a little bit differently, but this is a nice way to kind of make this connection here a little bit cleaner and make it look a little bit more nicer, at least in my opinion. So that right there is something you can do also for Java players. Anyways though, continuing on, we're going to place down a birchwood fence gate to both sides of this stone block here. And then after that, we want to go and then place down a daylight detector to both sides. On the side of the daylight detector, we're going to place down a birchwood sign, like so. And we can also change these item frames here to night mode. Though your fence gates may act a little weird, so just make sure that they get fixed if you do that. With that though out of the way, we can go ahead and then take our spruce wood. We're going to place down a spruce wood stair in the center, like so. And then going back from it, we want to place down a spruce wood slab. So just like this. Then to the sides of that, we're going to go ahead and place down a brown bed, like so, for the kind of boats in this section here. And we're going to go ahead and also place down an anvil on top of those andesite walls. After that, we're going to place down 2 stone blocks back, a stone brick upside down stair right here. And after we have that all done there, we want to go ahead and very simply grab some quartz slabs, stairs, white carpet, and some skeleton skulls. We're going to place down a quartz slab here, a stair here, and then we're going to place down a skeleton skull coming off the slab here, followed by a white carpet to both sides, and then we're going to place down a row 3 of white carpet across the top there for our seaplanes. And we're going to do the same thing right here. We're going to place down a quartz slab this section here, a skeleton skull, a quartz stair, then a white carpet to both sides, and then a row 3 across the top there, like so, to go ahead and make these seaplanes. With that done, we're going to go ahead and then place down a lever here, then 2 levers to the sides. Again, same thing over here for our big anti-aircraft battery right there. And then lastly, we're going to place down a redstone repeater on top of the stone brick stair. Again, separate the notches from each other like so. With that all out of the way, that is going to wrap up everything we have there for layer number 5 of the ship. Taking a look at it from above, so it should look like for the top-down view. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving on up to our next layer. One quick thing I did just notice is that from layer 4 here, there is supposed to be a pressure plate on those 2 walls there, so let's make sure that gets added on. But anyways though, that is it for layer 5, and with that, let's go ahead and move on to layer number 6. Moving on to our next layer, we have layer number 6. For layer 6 to go ahead and get started with here, we want to go ahead and begin with by placing down a stone brick a stone upside down stair above this section here. We're going to go ahead and place down a birchwood fence gate coming off the stair like so, and we're going to have it open up toward the stair. And we then want to place down a birchwood sign on the side here of the upside down stair. After that, we're going to place down a stone full block, followed by a iron trapdoor on top of this fence post here. And coming off the iron trapdoor, we're going to place down an item frame. And in that item frame, we want to go ahead and place down a snowball, like so, for our spotlights. After that, we want to go ahead and place down another andesite wall here in the center. We're going to go ahead and place down a stone slab to both sides of it like so. And we want to go ahead and then place down a birchwood sign on the side of that slab. Once we have that done, we're going to go ahead and then place down a stone brick top slab, then a half slab. Over here, same thing, top slab, half slab. And then we're going to go ahead and place down a skeleton skull on top of these anvils. So one like that on both sides. We're going to go then place down 2 stone full blocks, and then a andesite wall. Coming off the andesite wall, we're going to place down an item frame, and then a snowball in the item frame like that. And once we have that all done right there, that is going to wrap up everything we have there for layer 6. And with that, we're going to move into our final layers here, which will be layers 7, 8, 9, and 10. So with that, let's go ahead and move into layers 8 through 10. Alright guys, moving into our final layers here, we have layers 7 through 10. For these layers to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down a glass pane that's going to go on top of this stone upside down stair here. We're going to place down an item frame coming off of it toward the front, and then a snowball on it like so. We're also going to place down a stone block on top of this one here, and then a glass pane on this side as well. We then want to place down a birchwood sign to both sides of the stone block, and after we have that done, we're going to place down another stone block on top of it. We then want to place down a skeleton skull coming off these 3 sides of that block, and then in the corners here, we're going to place down a skeleton skull coming off the skeleton skull like that. On the very top here, we're going to place down another skeleton skull, and then we want to go in very simply, just place down an end rod to both sides of that skeleton skull. Going ahead and building the mast, we're going to place down an end rod like this on top of that glass pane, a end rod to both sides from that, another end rod up, another end rod to both sides, and we then want to go ahead and place down a iron bar on the very top here. After that's done, we're going to go ahead and place down 2 stone blocks on top of here. We'll then take our iron trapdoors, and we're just going to go ahead and wrap iron trapdoors around it like so. And for us Java players, we can go ahead and then use a debug stick here to go ahead and manually close them by left clicking them until we get selected open, and by right clicking it, it should open to true. You can go ahead and also use birchwood trapdoors instead as a modification if you do not have a debug stick. After this though, we want to go ahead and then place down 2 item frames. We're going to go ahead and then place down a iron bar in those item frames, and then after we have that done, this back trapdoor is actually going to be a fence gate. So we're going to swap that out for a birchwood fence gate, and then we want to go ahead and place down 1 more fence gate up, open this one toward the rear, and we're going to then place down an end rod to both sides of that fence gate. Now with that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and very simply grab ourselves some barrier blocks, and we're just going to place down a row of 4 of barrier blocks going across like so. And we're going to go ahead and then place down stone buttons along the side there of those barrier blocks. And we can also place down 2 here on the top here of the first two, like that, to go ahead and make our rigging there for our mass. With that all done though, that right there is going to wrap up what we have there for layers 7 through 10, and with that, that's going to complete my design here for the HNLMS De Ruyter. Hope you guys do enjoy this tutorial and are able to put it to good use. If you do end up using this design, I do ask that you guys give me proper credit for it. This can be anything from a silent build, tweet to my channel, or this video if it does appear on social media sites. As long as you guys give me proper credit for your free and for projects you guys are working on. Overall, enjoy the build, have fun with all that fun stuff. Again, big special thanks to Patreon supporter the Grand Pope for making this tutorial possible, and as always, feel free to check my Patreon page. Link is always in my video descriptions. With that, thank you guys again so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Garrett204, and I'll see you guys next time.